Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, Traveling Czech. In this video, I thought we could learn how to make chili together. Because you know when it gets cold, there's nothing better than a good hot bowl of chili or homemade soup. And it's even better when it's cooked on the smoker. So let's get started by firing up the smoker to 275 degrees and then we'll get our ingredients together. Now that we have our ingredients together, we'll start off by heating 2 tablespoons of oil in a Dutch oven. Once the oil gets hot, we'll add in 1 large diced onion and give that a quick stir. Then on top of that, we'll add in 1/2 cup of chilies and mix them together. We want to make sure that the chilies and onions get a good coat of the oil because we don't want them sticking to the bottom of the pan as they cook. And you'll want to cook them over a medium heat until the onions get tender. Once the onions get tender, you'll want to go ahead and add in 1 15-ounce can of stewed tomatoes. And with the wet ingredients, don't drain them. The next ingredients we add will be 1 can of Rotel, and you can use any flavor you want. I mean, they make several different kinds. The next ingredient that we'll add is the water, and that will be 28 ounces. And next ingredients will be 1 ounce package of chili seasoning. I specify 1 ounce because we made the mistake of getting the 2-ounce package and did not notice that until after it was added. It made the chili a little bit spicier than we wanted, but overall it had a really good flavor. This next ingredient is diced tomatoes. Our grocery store happened to have the chili diced tomatoes, so we went ahead and got those. Now you can add either 1 large can, which is 28 ounces, or 2 small cans. Our grocery store didn't have the 28-ounce can, so we went with the 2 15s. Where I grew up, chili was not chili unless you had beans in it. So we decided to check our cupboards and found 2 cans of chili beans and went ahead and added them. Now whether you add beans or not, the last ingredient that you add, you'll want to go ahead and give the chili a quick stir, get all the ingredients mixed together really well, and then start simmering it over a medium heat. Once it comes to a simmer, you can go ahead and move it on out to the smoker. But while it's cooking, let's go ahead and get the meat ready that we're going to add to it. I'm using an 85-15 blend of ground beef, and what we're adding here is 1 tablespoon of chili powder, 1 tablespoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of pepper, and then we're going to mix it together. Once I get it good mixed, I'm going to go ahead and form it into a ball, and then I'm going to coat it with my favorite rub. The rub that I used this time was a cheesy jalapeno rub, and it gave it a really good flavor. On the rub that you use, you just want to make sure that you coat the entire ball. Once you get it good and coated, just remember to go back and check on your chili mix. Well, it looks like our chili mixture has come to a slow simmer, so we're going to go ahead and give it one last stir. After we do that, we're going to get ourselves a rack of some kind that is large enough to cover the opening of the Dutch oven, and then get the meat mixture and set it on top. Remember to hit the like button down below and leave a comment about the video and the recipe. If you'd like to see more recipes from me, hit the subscribe button as well. One of the last things I'm going to do before I take the meat out to the grill is flatten it out. That way it's somewhat uniform all the way across. The last thing you want to do is have a real thick area and a thin area. You take a chance of the thick area being raw. Okay, here we're going to place a thermometer inside the meat so we can monitor the internal temperature. We're going to cook this at 275 for about 45 to 60 minutes, at which point we will turn it up to 325 to 350. So it's been about 50 minutes since we started, and the meat's looking really good. I'm going to go ahead and turn the grill up to 350 degrees, at which point we will just monitor the internal temperature from here. Once the internal temperature of the meat hits 150 degrees, we will come back out and complete the next step. Okay, so the meat has finally hit 150 degrees, and so we're going to work on the next step. What we'll do is we will remove the meat from the smoker and break it up into chunks so we can put it back into the chili. And it really helps to have a good set of oven mitts. That way when you're handling the meat and the other hot items from inside the grill, you really don't have to worry about getting burnt. Okay, this next step we're going to be breaking up the meat into small pieces and then putting it back into the chili so it can finish cooking. This is a neat little contraption that my wife came across. I don't know what it's called, but man, it sure worked really well for breaking up the meat. When breaking up the meat, if you happen to notice that some of it is a little pink, that's fine. That's nothing to worry about, because as you can see, we're adding it back to the chili, and the chili will continue to cook at 350 degrees for another 20 minutes. Okay, now that we have all the chili meat added back in, we can go ahead and push it down, mix it in, stir it up a little bit, and then we're going to let it cook for another 20 minutes at 350 degrees in the smoker. Okay, it's been 20 minutes. Let's go ahead and pull it off the grill and take a quick look at it. Man, that looks really good. Can't wait to try it. Let's go ahead and close the grill and take it into the house and have a little taste of it. And this just came off the grill, so it's extremely hot. I know you're supposed to let it cool a little bit, but I can't wait to try it. I've never made chili before, so I am anxious to try it. Even though it had a little bit of a bite to it, I could not believe it how good this chili turned out. Lots of meat, lots of beans, it was excellent. Now that the chili's had a chance to cool down from being on the grill, let's go ahead and give it a good sample. This is definitely a recipe that we are going to make again, especially when it's cold. And I can't wait to try it with cornbread. Hey, before you go, would you hit the like button down below, and please leave any comments that you may have on this video or the recipe. And if you try this recipe, please come back and let me know what you thought of it. Until next time, so long from Traveling Czech.